Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. Guys, it was a shitty trading day yesterday, ain't gonna lie, it was very choppy, look at that. SPY didn't give us much of a follow through of anything. Low volume, very low volume. Holy moly donut shop, very low volume. How? Probably one of the more low volume days we've had in a while. Yeah, I mean, low volume, low volatility makes the environment tough to trade. And usually when that happens, that's a sign that the market could be entering the chop phase. Not our favorite phase. Now, I know a lot of you guys, some of you guys don't like seasonality. But for those who, like data, historical data, SPY does have an average tendency to chop around this time before towards the end of December when it makes a move. On average, it is a bullish move. People talk about the Santa rally. I don't know if we're going to get another one. But on average, the SPY tends to chop around this time. And that's looks like that may be the case. However, the question now is, what type of chop are we going to get? Are we going to get like some type of bull flag, like a legit pullback? Or it could be a legit reversal where we head down a lot lower, like much lower. We're looking at SPY here on a daily chart. We see it hit that fib level, the 1.5 Fibonacci extension level. And we got some selling pressure, treating 606.4-ish as a support. That is the 1.382 fib level. So you see the fib levels are pretty much being respected. It's not going to be pinpoint accurate, guys. It's not going to be pinpoint, but it's around the zone, the area. So with that being said, for me, if this is the chop phase or the beginning of the chop phase, those are the two levels I'll be watching to see where the next possible level to level move at the very least is going to be. Hopefully we get more than a level to level move, of course, because a pullback would be healthy, cool the RSI down, and get some correction. Maybe we get some volatility back, get people excited. You want people to be emotional because it'll reflect into the price action. And if the price action is volatile, we can trade it. Okay. But otherwise, could be choppy. Protect those gains. If you make any gains, it is Friday, guys. Take it easy. You don't want to enter the weekend red. Okay. But with that being said, what is the plan for today? Okay. Like I said, could a top be in? We're looking at triple Q. Looking kind of like a dark cloud cover candle pattern here. Which is usually a 2-candle bearish pattern. Okay. And we know, actually, let me talk about SPY first. Okay. Now, SPY doesn't look quite like a dark cloud, but, it's similar. And I'll tell you this. Now that we got the breakout of the fib level, 606.4, and it retested as support, that's the level to watch for today. If it breaks down, we'll likely head down lower to 605. Maybe go fill the gap. I'm watching the gap now, which is around 603.9-ish. With 602 and 600 below. As always, to go short, we need the false breakout setup. Is it guaranteed that we're going to get the pullback? No, but when we look at every single time a top is put in, whether it's a higher high or whatever, lower high, whatever the case may be, when it pulls back, it starts off with a false breakout. You guys can look at it. It starts off with a false breakout. So if we are going to go short, these are the levels I'm giving you. 606.4 and 605. Breakdown, we want to go short level to level and leave runners in case we get a bigger move. And as usual, now that we see the sell zone around 606.48 was the high. The Fibonacci extension levels at 608.3-ish. I mentioned I'm watching 608, but I'm watching the pivot high of yesterday. So we're going to round it up to 608.5. All right. If we are to get new all-time highs, the previous pivot all-time high must clear. That should send us to 610, and I have another fib level up at 613. Okay, don't underestimate these fib levels, because you see what happens every time. Not every time, but most of the time. Okay, on triple Q, as mentioned earlier, dark cloud cover candle potential here. How do you trade this setup? You want to see the breakdown. If you're a bear, and for this bearish reversal to play out, you want to see the breakdown of the low of the red candle, which is at 521.4. You can also get a gap down, right? A gap down would be great too, but either way, you want to see that breakdown, and that would put the lower targets in play. I have a fib level at 519, 517, and then 515 is the next fib level. All right, gap fills around 517-ish, and then fib levels at 515. But it will start if we can break down the low of yesterday's low, 521.4. If it does, the dark cloud cover candle can play out. If we gap below it and we fail to recapture that level, or it rejects, that's a very bearish sign with the lower targets in play. This 2 candle setup is invalidated. If, as usual, we recapture or clear some levels, 523, to try to go and hit 525. All right. Tesla, amazing bounce. Now is lingering just below my 376 level, with the next fib level at 377.5. As usual, if those levels clear, more upside is possible. All right. If we break down 374 and 372, the fib level at 370 will be tested, and below we could get a much deeper pullback down to 368, maybe all the way down to 365. NVDA, got to be careful with this one, okay? It's not guaranteed. It can go either way, but we noticed this big body green candle on Wednesday, followed by a doji yesterday, okay? One of two things could happen. Yesterday could have been a cool down for a potential bullish move today, and we'll know it's bullish if 146 and 147.3 clears. But if this is sometimes like an evening star pattern, a 3 candle bearish move, usually on the 3rd candle it's a big body red candle, which could be bearish, and we know it'll be bearish if we break down 144, 142 to put 140, 138, and 136.7 in play. All right, so watch out for that, because if it does play out bearishly, it's going to be a very nasty drop to the downside. IWM, if a top is in, IWM could be leading the way. We broke down that 239 level. You see this red line. It served as a resistant level, and multiple times it served as a support level. But yesterday it broke down. So as long as below 239, I am bearish on IWM, with 236, 234, 230, and 228.6 in play. Okay, my bearishness will be invalidated if 239 and 240.8 recaptures. If it does 242 and back to 244, we go. Apple has been very, very bullish. It hit the next fib level I had around 244.2-ish. Okay, and it closed around my level around 243. I have the next fib level at 241.6. If it is time for a pullback, because the RSI is very overbought, but we don't want to short because it's overbought. We need confirmation from the price action, and then you combine it with the RSI, that should make you feel even better about going short. But you need to see the breakdown of 241.6, and that would put 240, 237.5, 235.5, and 233.6 all in play below. But it will start with the breakdown of 241.6. If we consolidate and manage to stay above 241.6, that could just be we could be just cooling off the RSI through time. Instead of a pullback, we chop sideways, and I hope that doesn't happen, but it can happen. But overall, if that does happen and we clear 244, that's bullish, more upside in play. Otherwise, You know, if you're gonna short, probably cut your loss above 244. But I would short if we break down support starting with 241.6 and 240. Amazon, while this, you know, some things are looking kind of toppy, but Amazon not really. It broke down. It broke out another fib level at 220. So above 220, the breakout stays intact, and if the breakout stays intact, more upside is possible. If we clear 222, that would put 224 in the next fib level at 226 in play. All right. So for a false breakout, we need the breakdown of 220 and 218. If those levels fail, you could go retest 216. This white line right here, important pivot level in my opinion. But if 216 fails, it's gonna get a lot more nastier for the bulls. Okay, 213 or lower would be in play. Okay. Meta got a little bit of a pullback. We try to gap above that 615.6 fib level. Broke it down, gave us a nice, beautiful move to the downside. I have next support at 607. And if it fails, 605 and the fib level at 603 would be in play. Below 603, bears take back control. We could get a deeper pullback to the downside. All right, guys. Otherwise, I have resistance at 609 and 611. They must clear to put 612, 614, and 615.6 back in play. Microsoft, similar to Amazon, still looking bullish and not showing signs of slowing down, even though the RSI is pretty overbought. If it is time to pull back, though, support at 442 and 440 must fail. Okay? Must fail. I have next resistance around 444 and 446. If they clear, 448 and 449.5 would be in play. DXY, looks like we had a nice pullback yesterday. The next critical one, though, is at 105.6. Bulls are going to need some type of double bottom here. Step up here, maybe play out a W pattern, maybe. And if it does, could be very bullish. Getting above 106.7 should confirm a W pattern, and that would be bullish, right? But if we break down 105.6, that's very bearish. Breaks back below my multi-year trend line, and that could mean that the SPY could pop up if DXY is continuing to drop. Coin, what a pullback! Hit that 349ish level. Rejected, broke down my 347 level, and the rest was history. You could make a living just trading coin. Holy moly, donut shop. So I have resistant right now. Fib level resistant at 322. I would not look to long unless 322 and 324 clears. If it does, that's when you want to go for calls. 330, 332, and 334 plus would be the targets. Supports at 320. 318. If those levels fail, 315 would be in play. And below that is 311.7, 310, and 308. Okay? DOGE is making me sad. Let's see if 42 cents can hold. If it does, maybe we get a bounce. I'll trust the bounce more if we can clear 44 cents again. Try to put in a higher low here. But 42 cents is going to have to clear. Like I said yesterday, I have my stop loss below 40 cents right now. This is sloping up with the uptrend line. Let's see if bulls can clear that 44 cents. I think bears will take back control below 40 cents, which is why I cut my, that's where my stop loss is. It's based on this structure, this trend line here. Okay? Bitcoin, wow, look like it's just basing now. I mean, it tried to break out of this flag. It looks like it didn't really hold, but it's trying again. It's gonna have to clear 98.5 thousand and 100,000 to get back to the upside. Maybe go retest 104,000. Holy moly! Otherwise, if we're gonna get a deeper pullback, we need to break down 95,000 and 93.5 thousand to send us lower, back down to 90,000 possibly. All right. So that's all I have for you guys this morning, guys. It's Friday. Let's finish this strong. Finish this safely. And don't forget to stay unbiased to the price action. Peace.